President Biden said to visit a shuttered power plant in Massachusetts to talk about climate change. But the White House says executive action is off the table for at least this week. But what can we expect next week? Here to react, former Energy Secretary Rick Perry. Mr. Secretary, great to see you. You've been dealing with this directly as Secretary of Energy. What do you think the president is going to say, besides we're in a crisis now?
Well, I don't know. Seeing and watching this administration, I don't think they have any original ideas about how to deal with this. We have a lot of solutions in this country based centrally on fossil fuels. Fossil fuels have changed more people's lives in a positive way than any other substance in the world, any other technology in the world. We've got small modular reactors. These are walk-away safe nuclear reactors. And our federal government's just dragging their feet, slow playing it. They haven't, permitted any nuclear technology in literally decades. If you're looking for the answers, Mr. President, they're right here in America. You could open up the XL pipeline. You could open up our offshore drilling and our federal lands and get clean American energy into the mix here to address this issue. If you don't, you're going to continue to push countries to go back to coal. And third world countries, you're basically going to say to them, sorry, you're just going to die. You're going to have to keep using wood or cow dung to fuel your heat and to cook your food, and you're just going to die.
Right.
That's the options.
He wants us to get electric cars. He's got 6,000 charging stations in this country, 150,000 gas stations in this country. On the average, electric car costs $65,000. Low end, a Kia would cost $40,000. So he wants massive subsidies to the tune of $300 billion, the New York Post editorial section does. So $300 billion set aside to help people buy electric cars that are going to be charged. And ultimately, those charging stations and grids are going to be fueled by coal. Has he thought this out?
And driving the cost of electricity up because he's going to push more and more subsidies into solar and wind, which at the end of the day cannot keep the grid up. You've got to have a base load power supply, either fossil fuels or nuclear, to keep your grid going. I mean, so pushing more incentives into electric cars, into solar, into wind, all that's going to do at the end of the day, drive up the cost of electricity. And who gets hurt worse? The people that can't afford it. You know, John Kerry, he doesn't worry about it. He's got plenty of money. Gotcha. He jets around on his private aircraft.
But Governor, real quick, I want you to weigh in on nuclear energy. You think it's the future?
Oh, absolutely. I think that advanced nuclear reactors are the future. If you care about the climate, I mean, if it's more than just a throwaway line for you, you have to support small modular nuclear reactors. That's the way that we're going to address the emissions issue in any substantive way.
Right. And there's a way to do it safer than ever. And will the states have control to make those choices themselves? That's what has you intrigued. And we have to have you back to talk about that, Governor, because people want clean, but they don't want to talk about natural gas and nuclear. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, it's the key. I think if you really care about it, if you're a legit environmentalist, those are two that you've got to stand up and say, we're for.
All right, Governor, thanks so much. Appreciate talking to you.
Good to be with you, Brian.